Good afternoon, everyone. So on behalf of the Drug Discovery and Development Task Force, I warmly welcome and appreciate your joining for this info session. So we will proceed as the agenda indicates. First, I would like to introduce the program, the certificate program. Then next, we will have individual course director or co-director to introduce their respective courses. Then after that, we will open up the floor or room for questions and then answer from me and then maybe other faculty members. Then finally, I would like to invite our Dean, Dr. Madhavan, to give a concluding remark. So with that, I would like to start by introducing myself. So I'm Dr. Eric Chen. I received my doctoral degree in 1999 from Michigan State University. I'm currently a professor in the Department of Pharmaceutical Science. I have the honor and the privilege to serve as the director of drug discovery and development programs. Talking about the programs, I just would like to briefly inform you that this certificate program that we are covering today is a phase 1 of our DDD program development. We are in the process of developing additional programs such as, for example, a master degree program and maybe a dual degree PharmD-master degree program in the future. My area of expertise including electrical drug discovery, microbiology, biochemistry, and synthetic biology. I contribute to teaching activity related to the DDD courses, including serving as the course director of PHAR 7310 that I will introduce a little bit later on. I will also contribute sections to the PHAR 7320 named Overview of Modern Drug Discovery and Development. I have limited biopharm industry experience by serving as a scientific advisory board member of Xing'an Farm, which was a small startup company in China for 3 years. So here's my campus contact address information that you can reach to me by either phone, email, or stop over my office. Perhaps not today. So the non-complicated and often expensive drug development process can be divided into 5 steps by FDA standards. The step 1 is the initial laboratory-based drug discovery and the development process, followed by extensive preclinical testing in animal models to answer basic questions such as safety and efficacy. The next step is the clinical research. So the drug candidate that will proceed to be tested on human volunteer to make sure that they are still safe and effective. If everything goes right, the drug developer, which will be driven out of pharmaceutical company, that would just collect all data and in the form of a new drug application and submit the application for FDA review. The FDA review panel consists of experts that will take a close look of all the data and will decide on whether to approve the drug, request more information, or not to approve the drug. So, but if the drug is approved by FDA, it will move to the manufacturing and the marketing stage. The FDA will continue to perform post-market safety monitoring and evaluations. Now, from a different perspective, this graphic picture to show you some of the details of the technical steps, and not including, for example, also the timeline that is often required for each of the steps, and some of the kind of paperwork shown up here. What is not shown by this graph is that there are many types of job functions involved in this process. Just name a few. For example, the biologists and the chemists that are involved in the initial drug, laboratory-based drug discovery and development, also the animal testing, the clinicians that would conduct clinical trials, and of course, the FDA review panels, the manufacturing people or worker, and the marketing people, and so on and so forth. That also including some of the legal teams and the IP specialists that would make sure that their intellectual property of the individual drug developer is covered. So from this point of view, trained student graduates or professionals with the right knowledge and skills in drug discovery and development may pursue a career in not only in biotech and pharmaceutical company, but also in research at research institutions, contract research organizations, clinical pharmacies, or consulting firms, even serve as a medical science liaison, or work for government regulatory agencies. So the opportunities are wide open for the right for people with the right knowledge and skill. Now, the whole biopharmaceutical industry is huge. So let's zoom in just take a look at what the Texas can offer. Texas not only has top large cancer centers, medical centers, or health science centers, and a highly ranked university, but also has more than 250 biotech, pharmaceutical, or life science companies. Among them, 70 are, or about 70 are located within the 100-mile radius of the DFW metropolitan area. Now, for this reason, we have developed this certificate program that consists of 4 courses, 12 semester credit hour curriculum that will be delivered fully online. This program will provide students a systematic learning opportunity about the DDD process. It will also increase the student understanding of the clinical, medical, and regulatory affairs of the DDD process. The program shall enable graduates currently outside of the DDD field to be more competitive on the job market to get into the DDD field. It shall also enable working professionals graduates already in the field to expand their role and responsibilities, and therefore to advance their career. This program also should provide a gateway for some graduates to get into advanced educational programs, such as a professional science master's degree program, or PharmD, or PhD. So the additional information can be viewed on the program webpage at our college website. So who should consider to apply? Those who are interested in pursuing the field in the DDD, that would include current pharmacy students, recent BA, BS college graduates in chemistry or life science, and all other part-time or full-time students, including working professionals, should apply. So we take a close look of the curriculum that we have developed for this certificate program. That will include, once again, 4 courses, total 12 semester credit hours that will be delivered fully online. An example of the curriculum for the first cohort of students that are currently under recruitment include 2 courses to be offered in spring semester 2021 and another 2 courses in fall semester of 2021. So you will hear a more detailed explanation of the courses later on by individual course directors or co-directors. An example of the seminar curriculum for the second cohort student shown up here. Once again, there can be same 2 courses in the first semester, fall semester 2021, followed by 2 courses in the second semester, which is spring 2022. Now, we have determined a cost of tuition rate of $600 per semester credit hour based on our analysis of seminar programs offered by other universities in the country. So sum up of the tuition and fees, it will cost about a little bit over $10,000 per student for the entire DDD certificate program to be complete in 2 semesters. Please note that this cost estimate does not apply to our current pharmacy student who will continue to pay by the current tuition rate and fees. So we have set admission criteria as such. We would prefer applicant to have already had a BS or BA degree in chemistry or a life science discipline, or currently enrolled pharmacy students who do not necessarily have a BA or BS degree. We prefer also at least 6 semester credit of biology, 3 semester credit of calculus, 6 semester credit hours of chemistry, and 3 semester credit hours of statistics. We expect English proficiency for the English as a secondary language student. We prefer them to have a adequate TOEFL or IELTS score. Of course, we understand that not every applicant will be able to meet all those criteria. But we will consider some of the exceptions with appropriate justification on a case-by-case basis. So here's the application process. We have designed an online application portal, which is open now until November 20 for the first cohort of students to be matriculated in spring 2021. The application portal will be reopen again from January to July 2021 for matriculation in fall 2021. We require a 1-page personal statement of the interest of the program. We also require 2 letters recommendation from academic or professional reference. A $50 application fee need to be paid online with a credit card. We also request official transcripts from all colleges and university to be sent to that email address. For ESL students, we ask them to send their TOEFL or IELTS score report to the same email address. Applicant can opt to submit additional optional documents, so for example, CV or resume or other credentials. Now, we will consider complete application on a rolling basis, admission basis. And the online course will begin on January 4th, 2021 for the first cohort, and on August 16th, 2021 for the second cohort student. So with that, I would like now turn the microphone to Dr. Amit to introduce the first course, the design for this program. Dr. Amit.
Thank you, Dr. Cheng. So my name is Kyle Emmett. I'm professor and chair of the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences in the College of Pharmacy. I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill with a PhD in organic chemistry way back in 2002. And I've spent about, I guess, more than 18 years now involved in drug discovery. My areas of expertise is in medicinal chemistry and small molecule drug discovery, and all that entails. And primarily I've worked on kinase, GPCR, and ion channel drug discovery, but worked in some other areas as well. From other drug discovery experience outside of the HSC, I spent about 7 years with GlaxoSmithKline in their oncology drug discovery organization, and was fortunate enough to be involved in multiple clinical candidate selections, leading drug discovery teams and so forth. And then spent about 6.5 years at the Warren Center for Neuroscience Drug Discovery at Vanderbilt University, which is one of the largest academic drug discovery centers in the world. And there I was an associate director of medicinal chemistry and continued to lead projects and again, carried things all the way from hit to lead up through clinical candidate selection. So I am a co-course director, as Dr. Cheng mentioned, of Pharm 7320, but also a content contributor in 7322 and 7310. So students get to spend a lot of time with me in this particular course. And at this point, I think I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the course that I'm co-directing, 7320 Overview of Modern Drug Discovery and Development. So again, this is a 3-semester credit hour course. I think I like to think about this course as a journey. So we kind of start at the beginning where drug discovery starts with target discovery and target validation, and then take the student all the way through the process that leads up to filing that new drug application with the FDA. And so in many ways, this is a course that is very broad and conducted at sort of a 10,000-foot level, but we will be taking pit stops and landing along the way and talking about important aspects. It's an interdisciplinary faculty, so which I think is critical to a course like this, because we have people that are content contributors that have expertise in the areas in which they'll be teaching. And so we'll get a chance to hear from people that are actually currently involved in different areas of drug discovery and development research, and the students will take advantage of their background, expertise, and knowledge of everything that's going on from a cutting edge standpoint. And that's one of the things that we really are trying to do as well, is to not only give the foundations, but sort of paint the picture of what are the emerging trends and topics that are driving drug discovery and development today. So this hopefully gives the student the foundation, enhancing their understanding of not only everything that goes into the process and the timeline, but giving them a glimpse at all of the different career opportunities that are part of drug discovery and development, and helping them understand what are the challenges facing the industry and the drug discovery and development process today, and then helping them to determine where do they want to fit in, where do they want to pursue other educational or career opportunities within this very broad field. At this point, I want to hand the floor over to my co-course director, Dr. Denise Inman, so that she can introduce herself and tell you her thoughts on our course.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Denise Inman. I'm an associate professor. Oh, hold on, let me see if I can get that video going. All right, there we go. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Denise Inman. I'm an associate professor in pharmaceutical sciences here at UNT HSC. So I serve with Dr. Emmett as the co-course director of the overview of the drug discovery and development course. As he mentioned, we have an excellent lineup of faculty with deep expertise in this area. My own expertise is more in target identification and preclinical testing. I work in the realm of eye disease and eye pathology. I do look forward to participating in the certificate program, and of course I'm encouraging anyone with questions to reach out. I think, yeah.
Do you have anything to add to the course introduction, Dr. Inman?
Just that, as Dr. Emmett mentioned, we have a very high level overview of the drug development process, drug discovery and development process. And I think students will really, they'll learn a great deal about how this process works because it's quite different from, well, it's different from pharmacy, but it's also very different from what happens in the academic realm in terms of basic research. So it's going to be a great course.
Thank you, Dr. Emmett and Dr. Inman, for your introduction of your course. So now let's give time to Dr. Matthew to introduce her course.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Tina Matthew, and I am a graduate of University of Texas at Austin. That's where I received my PhD. And then I also did a postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Colorado Health Sciences Center in Denver. My area of expertise is in ligand-gated ion channels, both doing a lot of physiology and pharmacology, also neuropharmacology. I really do enjoy pharmacology. I spent roughly 25 years in basic science research, and in the last 10 years have focused in an administrative role. And so my course is a service course director, and we have a number of faculty that teach in it, basic scientists such as myself, as well as a lot of clinical faculty, clinical pharmacists. It's called Pharmacogenomics, Pharmacogenetics, and Personalized Medicine. Next slide, please. And so I'd like to tell you a little bit more about it. And so the title is very wordy. So I'd like to first comment about personalized medicine. and some are now calling it precision medicine. And so the goal of personalized medicine is for each patient to receive the correct drug at the appropriate dose for his or her disease condition. And that's based on not only their genetics, but also their environment and lifestyle. And pharmacogenomics simply describes how genes influence individuals' responses to drugs. So this course is divided into 2 parts. And so the first part of the course provides you with foundational knowledge in genetics and molecular biology so that you understand how allelic variants are transmitted, identified, and analyzed for their roles in altering drug response. And then the second part of the course focuses on how allelic variants contribute to changes in drug metabolism, drug distribution in bodily tissues, as well as it focuses on how allelic variants will determine whether specific drugs do or do not treat certain disease states, such as specific cancers and certain cardiovascular diseases. The course also includes how pharmacogenomics influences clinical decision-making with regard to prescribing drugs or prescribing their doses. And it also looks at future directions in the field, such as pharmacogenomic considerations in drug development, with parallel development of companion diagnostic tests for biomarkers that will determine whether or not a patient is a candidate for that specific drug treatment. And so when we think about all this, though, while the human genome sequencing project was completed way back in 2003, we're still in the very early stages with regard to implementation of personalized medicine in clinical practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Michael, for your course introduction. Now I'd like to give the time to Dr. Jin, who will also speak for the co-course director, Dr. Vadura, on their course.
Well, thank you, Dr. Chang. I'm Michael Jan, and I'm a professor in the Department of Pharmacotherapy. I did my Doctor of Pharmacy training at the University of Southern California, and then I did my postdoc in mental health pharmacy practice at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center in Memphis. My area of expertise is in pharmacogenetics and pharmacodynamics. I've done a lot of work in CNS drug development, but certainly with a lot of other drugs as well in product development. So for example, if a drug company came to ask me to look at their new product and how it would be absorbed in a clinical study, I would be able to give them some insights. And part of my industrial experience and on the academic side, I have conducted many clinical trials from phase 1 all the way to phase 4, meaning that even marketed drugs need to be revisited once they're FDA approved. And so certainly I've conducted many of those drug trials via the Mercer University Clinical Research Unit. It was a 24-bed unit, which we used patients as well as healthy volunteers and doing many kinetic and pharmacodynamic studies. My involvement in the course for discovery drug development is in 3 areas. You can see one of the courses here I'll talk more about on the next slide, 7382, but I'm also involved in 2 other courses, as you can see listed here. In those courses, I talk briefly on each topic with clinical trial design, specifically drilling down to phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 trials, and what goes on behind them. And of course, you could see my contact information. So if we turn to the next slide.
Excuse me.
You could see here in the course 7382, this is a 3-credit course to look at the clinical pharmacology principles in drug development. Basically, if you look at any drug that's FDA approved and their package insert, there's a huge section in clinical pharmacology. And this is what this course is designed to bring you through, from everything from the first phase 1 when it's absorbed and what's its parameters to significant drug-drug interactions. And for example, in the package inserts, now as they evolve, as we understand cytochrome P450 and the genetics and all that sort of thing that goes into those package inserts, for drug-drug interactions, for example, the FDA will put out a note in the drug interaction section of a, quote, strong drug interaction. And the FDA has actually defined what a strong drug interaction is. And that definition, to give you an example, is increase in 5 times the plasma concentration of the drug that's being affected. So you could see how very precise now clinical pharmacology and drug development has become. This course is also not just taught by me. I do teach a good chunk of it, but it's also taught by many other excellent expert faculty who are from the FDA as well as the industry. So it's a wonderful networking opportunity with experts in the field of clinical pharmacology. And you can see here, it can certainly enhance career relevance in this field with certainly understanding and promoting clinical pharmacology. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tian, for your course introduction. So now it's my turn. Here's me again. So I would like to introduce my course, 7310, the Comprehensive Review of FDA-approved new drugs. I want to give you a little bit of background before some of you may know that every year, US FDA approves somewhere between 30 to 50 new drugs every year. I have always been interested in knowing what type of drug, what kind of drug are approved every year. So it was my excitement, and now based on that, I developed this course that hope to give the same opportunity to interest students to participate in comprehensive review of FDA-approved new drugs, and to gain a broad understanding of how new drugs are discovered, developed, approved, and used in the clinics. So students are asked to conduct a comprehensive drug review, write up the writing and convert the writing into a presentation to present to the final student and the faculty. So highlight of course, this is going to be a faculty guided, student self-directed drug review and writing, and then presentation. And the student will assess each other's writing and presentations. So this course, I believe, definitely will enhance student understanding of the drug discovery and the development process. We also promote student awareness of the biopharmaceutical industry business volume and the variation from year to year. And I hope this course will help students to recognize the biopharmaceutical industry leaders which company or which companies have developed what type of drugs on a yearly basis and what's the industry trend. And I strongly believe by completing this course will assist students in identify their career directions. So with that course introductions, I wonder, here's the DDD program context. So for anyone who has a question or questions about the admissions process, please contact Ms. Jennifer Mears in the admissions office by this email or phone number. Questions about the programs, now you may contact me by email or phone call, or just stop by my office in the RES 340K of the Health Science Center campus. So with that, I would like to open up the floor or a room you can call for any questions from the audience.
So Dr. Chang, this is Yoko, and on the chat room, there are a few questions. Okay. So let me ask the first one. Are these courses transferable to other institutes or here or in the pharmacy school, or if somebody wants to pursue a MS or a PhD degree?
I think there are two scenarios that your question that kind of is about. Whether the credit earned from this program will be transferable to other institutions, that depends on other institutions' policy. But I can say or from my best understanding, that some of the credit may be transferable to other programs that offered by this university, our health science center. And it depends, I guess we have to analyze by course whether a certain course is accepted as a course by another program. So again, the answer is, well, depends on the situation.
Okay, thank you. So a second question is that from a student is that, can we take more than 2 semesters to complete this certificate program?
The answer is yes. Yes. We anticipate that, of course, different students may have a different timeline and a different level of engagement. So student may take, for example, a course, 1 course or 2 courses in a semester. Then if student take one course in the semester, she or he would have to come back the same spring semester or fall semester, take another one in order to complete. So having said that, the students have flexibility to complete this certificate course in 1 to 2 years.
Thank you. So the last question, one of the PharmD students asked is that, how does these courses fit into the PharmD curriculum? I guess the question is that, do they count as electives?
Yeah, I think we are, one of the 4 courses, the PHAR 7322 is actually one of the core courses of our PharmD curriculum. So every pharmacy student should have taken this course in the 2nd semester of the curriculum. And the rest of the 3 core courses are all PharmD, approved as PharmD electives. But for this certificate program, all 4 courses are required. So pharmacy students can opt to take those courses as an elective, or they can take them as a designated course under this certificate program.
Thank you. There are 2 more questions just showing up on the chat room.
Oh,
one is that, who is eligible to apply? I think you mentioned that. Would you want to repeat some of that?
Okay, we anticipate several categories of potential student applicants. So of course, we certainly welcome our current pharmacy students to apply if you have the interest. You also have the advantage of being here already in our college of pharmacy. We also anticipate that new college graduates with a degree in chemistry or life science who want to get into the drug discovery and the development field definitely should consider to apply. We also welcome working professionals who are currently in the industry to apply to gain additional credentials to expand their role and the responsibility and promote their career.
Thank you. One more question from Nancy to everybody. The question is that she is a pharmacy graduate student in Belmont University in Nashville. She was wondering if she can complete this degree in her P3 and P4 years of school.
Well, hey, Nancy, good to hear from you. Well, my bet is that if you are truly interested and if you engage to your best effort, I'm sure you will be able to.
So yeah, there's no conflict. I mean, she can do whatever she's doing, and then we can still take this course without any problem, as long as she can handle it, right?
Yeah, I have the confidence that, again, as long as you are truly interested and you put into effort, I would believe so.
That's all the questions I see.
Any other questions from the audience? So I heard no. Now, I would have the pleasure to invite our Dean, Dr. Madhavan, to give a concluding remark. Dean Madhavan.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Chang. And I do want to thank all of our colleagues who have presented here today, Drs. Emmett, Inman, Dr. Marcu and Dr. Jan, and I very much appreciate this opportunity to be able to say a few words. I think this is a very exciting program, especially for those students or individuals who are currently studying pharmacy or have graduated from pharmacy or from the biological sciences or life sciences, or who already have another health profession degree. And especially if you're interested in understanding more about the drug discovery process, and you want to see if that is a right field for you, or if you are thinking of graduate education, a master's or a PhD later on, or you're looking for a different type of career from what you're currently doing. And I do believe that, that there are plenty of job opportunities as Dr. Cheng identified in the pharmaceutical industry, in the biotech industry, in clinical research organizations or regulatory agencies. And this can be kind of a test program for you to take this certificate program. Certainly it will help to meet some of the electives if you're currently a student, but it will open your pathway, it will open new pathways or your thought processes as to determine whether this is something that you want to pursue for the rest of your life. And what is really interesting is what is happening around us, the COVID-19 pandemic. There is no doubt that this pandemic has highlighted the need for new treatments and new vaccines. And not just that, it has also highlighted the fact that we cannot wait 10 to 12 years for a new discovery to happen. And those of you who are familiar with the healthcare marketplace, you know that every year the FDA approves anywhere from 25 to 40 new drugs. But the challenge is that 70% of these new introductions tend to be Me Too drugs, meaning they are very similar to what we already have in the marketplace and not any better than that. And however, the fact remains that thanks to these modern drug discoveries, 80% of all treatments today involve drugs. And not just that, drugs are the most cost-effective treatments available to us. And so the space is wide open in terms of new drug discoveries. Again, especially as you look at what are the top 10 causes of mortality in the US. And when you look at that, you will see that heart disease, many forms of cancer, Alzheimer's, respiratory diseases like COPD, stroke, they continue to take a heavy toll of human lives. And my personal belief is that in spite of all of the remarkable discoveries, the innovations that we have seen in the pharmaceutical industry, more remains to be done. And I believe that a career in this field of drug discovery and development is a noble pursuit. And it's a career that will always be there as long as we humans exist and continue to live longer and longer, because the longer we live, we develop new diseases. And of course, every now and then we have this, situation of new and emerging diseases that we as human beings never knew existed. And a great example of that is HIV, which burst on the world scene and took so many lives in the 80s. But thanks to drug discoveries, today it's treated more like a chronic disease. And of course, you have heard of SARS and Ebola and now COVID-19. So it is a great and exciting field. If you have an aptitude for it, if you have an interest for it, you've seen the kinds of courses that are going to be part of this certificate program. You met the faculty member. And I personally believe that a certificate program is as good as the faculty. And I think here we have an outstanding team of faculty who are dedicated to teaching students as well as passionate about drug discovery. And so all in all, I think it makes for a great certificate program for you to consider if this is an area that you would like to pursue. So thank you very much, Eric, for this opportunity to talk to everybody. It's been a pleasure, and my very best wishes to everyone listening to this program. And students, you know how to get the information, and all of us here are available to answer any questions should you have any questions after this program is over. Thank you very much, Dr. Cheng.
Thank you, Dean, for your inspiring remarks. That would conclude this info session. And once again, anybody has additional questions are welcome to reach to us by email or phone listed on the website or this slide. Thank you.
So long. Bye-bye.
Bye.